Welcome to another episode of The Brand Called You, a podcast and podcast show that brings you leadership lessons, knowledge, experience, and wisdom from thousands of successful individuals from around the world. I'm your host, Ashutosh Garg, and today I'm delighted to welcome a very accomplished professional cum entrepreneur from Sydney, Australia, Dr. Sangeeta Aditya. Sangeeta, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Ashutosh ji, and thanks for inviting me to this great platform, The Brand Called You.
Thank you.
And
thank you.
Looking forward.
Yeah. Sangeeta is the president of GWASE. She's the owner of Novo Connect and Novo Analytics. She's a medtech innovator, a mentor, and an entrepreneur. Sangeeta is building an entrepreneurial platform for women in STEM. And she's a member of Change at the NITI Aayog and the Untitled Innovation, and she's also an Untitled Innovation Mission official. So, Sangeeta, before we talk about medtech and entrepreneurship, tell me a little bit about your journey in brief.
That's a very interesting question. So it's very difficult to tell you everything in brief, but yes, definitely we'll take it through my journey. And I was in my career, I was a scientist, and I started doing my research during my university. I would say I was in Forensic Bureau of Investigation, working for Indian DNA Excellence. And for every time I passed through my career, I had always interest towards a human impacted, human health, and how can we create more impacts towards the world with the research, science, and innovation. And that was my interest, and that's how I do the advocacy for STEM. And then I got an opportunity to do my postdoc in Oxford University. And there we got more exposure toward what's the real entrepreneurships as well as the research. How can we take our research innovation towards the commercialization? And when I get this kind of exposure, meet with different Nobel laureate, and how simplistic way they are carrying forward their research, so that really inspired me a lot. And then slowly I started my journey in my innovations, patents, and I have done through my as a scientist and researcher. But always it was in my mind, like how can we create more impacts towards the society for people and planet? And then I came back to India for a certain time. And that was the most critical time for the whole world, what we know during the pandemic. And it was real challenging time. And that time starting on entrepreneurship journey, we know what are the real challenges in life we faced and how we can overcome these challenges. And my journey, especially, it was in medtech. And during the talk, I'll share more detailed experience in this regard.
Absolutely. So tell me a little bit about the work you are doing in the area of medtech.
Correct. So my work is medtech is not a very small and simple area. What we say, it's a 360 degree. Even sometimes we cannot even imagine, like supply chain also it includes and it comes as a sector of medtech, because when as a medical device entrepreneur or in any diagnostic kits, or we deal with telemedicines, so how can we connect the world from one corner to another? So we are doing everyday new innovations in diagnostics, but sometimes that was our real realization. How can we reach to the people? Because medtech's ultimate aim and goal is for healthcare, for better healthcare system, and you have to reach towards the people. It's for everyone, because that's a basic right for every human being in the world, I believe. And that's most important part of the medtech journey, because we have realized already, we have came across with many new and innovative technologies. Like how can we nowadays sitting at home and get our treatment done? That is also a technology, and we are coming through. And so we are not only for medical diagnostic kits or the device, we also connecting to the world for the better healthcare system and for female healthcare as well, because that's one of a very important area. Because all the working females, sometimes even though they are very educated and they are highly professional, but they also neglect their health. So how can we support with the medical technology for the better health?
So can you give me a little more examples of the kind of medtech projects that you are working on when you talk of supporting female health?
Yes, correct. So medtech, like it could be a breastfeeding device from a cervical cancer screening kit or a childbirth monitoring process. Because one of my project I have led, it was just like a baby, that how can we monitoring the childbirth monitoring process from a distance. It was a AI based technology. It was not like that, because the ladies, they go through pain and agony and that time during that course. So how can we do the remote monitoring process and we can do the successful delivery process? So that was very, very interesting project, one of the most critical, and from the designing to development, testing, and then commercialization.
Right.
It was quite a long journey and path. And other than that, any female health monitoring system, breast cancer monitoring system, then the cervical cancer screening. So even the child and mother, for both, we do different kind of development. And that's I can say that being a female, it's my also passion to develop this kind of project from the ideation stage to the go-to-market strategy.
Fascinating. And given the incredible changes that are taking place all the time in medical technology, how do you stay ahead? Because, as you said very rightly, you are a medtech innovator.
Correct. That's quite interesting, because nowadays the world is progressing so fast. Even today morning, I was discussing, when we were as a child, we do not have neither mobile nor Google. So we can see the rapid changes within past few years, how rapidly everything is changing, and we have to keep ourselves updated. So we do lots of collaboration research. Even I do lots of mentorships, and even the mentorship journey, it's not like that always I'm teaching. I'm also learning from the new innovators and entrepreneurs, and how can we come together throughout the journey, and how can we make a successful product. So it's not like that very straightforward, because every innovation, neither it's mentioned in a book nor it's published somewhere. So when it's an innovative technology, so we have to take the challenges and real-time challenges. So there are always success, failure, both, but we have to be very, very resilient, and what I say, that keep ourselves updated with the new technology.
Right.
And
very interesting. And you just spoke about mentoring, Sangeeta. Why is mentoring important to you, and how do you approach it?
Oh, that's a very good question, because mentoring is a very, very important aspect in terms of entrepreneurship journey. Even not only entrepreneurship, even being an innovator, it's very important. It's not like that being a mentor means I know everything or I'm the expert of everything. Sometimes we share our knowledge, share our ideas and thoughts. Even one thing I have seen in my real life, something really helps, because I do also have my mentors for whom I am mentee. Like sharing our journey, what are the challenges, because sometimes we don't even share the hurdles. We always come with the glorious picture and present the nice things, what is in the background. So sometimes when an entrepreneurship journey, it's not very straightforward. There are many aspects. So being a mentor, it's very, very important, because we do share our stories, we do have that expertise, and everyone is not expertise in everything. So different knowledge, different sharing, and even linking to the person with the other person who is expertise in that area. So that's how I carry on my mentorships and try to help as simplistic way, so that people should feel, oh no, this is very comfortable journey, or this is, I feel more confident, not being having the positive thoughts in their mind.
Well said. And coming back, let me come back to medtech now. What are some of the emerging technologies in medtech that you are most excited about?
That's true, because there are emerging technologies, but sometimes, we just oversee some of the very common, or very, I would say, very common, and like very much easy to detect the problems. We overlook those. In medtech, there is nothing as such rocket science and nothing as such small. As long as we can address an issue, this is the problem and this is the solution for it, and how user friendly that solution is, how can we reach to the end of the world. Like in India, I will give an example. In tier 2 cities, tier 3, tier 4, it's very difficult. Sometimes people, they do not get the healthcare, proper healthcare, but they also have that right to have that, get that healthcare. So when we talk about medtech, medical technology is something we have to reach, should be able to reach to a door with the affordable and accessible facilities, so that everyone should be benefited and they should get the proper healthcare. So that's about medtech. So I would not say something is a very big problem or small problem in terms of medical technology. Every problem has the equal importance, and we have to find out the better solution for that problem.
Well said. So, Sangeeta, let's now talk about your entrepreneurial platform for women in STEM. Tell me a little bit about your platform and what are some of the challenges you address that are being faced by women?
Correct. So that's very interesting, because we all came across with different journey, and when we talk about STEM or medical technology entrepreneurships, they are very, very specific. It's not like something retail product that today I have some thoughts or some product I have developed, I can get it to the market. There are certain stages, like we have to come to the proof of concept, then we have to come from the ideation stage to then development stage, then the clinical trial, testing, go to market, commercialization. In between, there are lots of regulations. You have to get the approval of the regulations. And not only that, when you are coming up with a new product, so definitely you want to make the world aware about the product. So there are some aspects like marketing, business development, go to market strategies. So sometimes I have seen the scientists who are working on this technology, so they are having very innovative, good IPs, technologies, but sometimes it's very challenging for them to take it to the market, launching of their product. So I have faced the real challenges, and then I decided, why not to come at as a one-stop solution or as a platform where we can give the support and help as a services to the other person who is also taking the same journey, because we are all going through the same journey. So in one word, what I say, my vision is like acknowledgement of the scientist innovations and work, then embracing the innovation, and how can we make more innovative technology for our delivering the best platform towards our nation. So this is all Novo Connect about. So Novo Connect is my own baby, and where we support in the different areas from financial to marketing, then computer, app developments, because when we are doing the medical, as you mentioned, medical technology, so nowadays everything is related to internet or computers or apps. So even yes, disease or detections, analysis, data analytics, these are all different areas. So I try to deliver with I have a very brilliant team who are ready to support, who has a great experience in this journey. So especially for designing too.
Yeah, thank you for your response. And what would you say are the long-term goals for your platform Novo Connect? And what steps are you taking to achieve these?
Correct. So in long term, what we say, we always develop something from our lab or from a corner of a city or a metro city or from a village. So the main focus nowadays, everything is global. It's a era of globalization. So connecting the world with the technology, because maybe somebody is developing in India a brilliant technology. So I want to bring those technologies across the globe. So mostly cross-border collaboration. I have lots of collaboration with the university, with the venture capitalists, with other partners, with the hospitals. So who could be the end user of their product? And that's how we can make the economic growth and other things, the revenue generation better for the company. So that's my goal. I believe in the collaboration. So I do not work alone. So I have my other teams, and we work in collaboration to make it more success.
Very interesting. And you just mentioned that you're keen to take products that are developed in different countries, maybe in India, onto a global platform. My question is, what kinds of partnerships and collaborations are you seeking or have established to enhance the value of your own platform?
Correct. So partnerships is always, this is a very important factor in when you are going global. So I have partnerships with the universities. I mean, also IITs, boards, mentors, even who are actual the developer, our young generation, next generation, because we do partnerships from both sides. One side is development side, and another side who will be where your purchaser, who will be your buyer, so that you can create the bridge and you can connect those gaps. And that's all, because when we are nurturing our next generation, we get the brilliant mindset. We are all getting old, so every day new innovations are coming. But there are some people who could buy your product so that they get more acknowledged, more encouraged. And that's how I do partnerships with the hospitals, with the government sectors, public sectors, private sectors, and we come together with a point with a where we can see the successes.
So one more question relating to your platform, and then I'll got two more questions after that. What is the impact you would like to see your platform giving for a lot of women in STEM?
Oh, that is a fantastic and very close to my heart. Definitely, because being a woman, even though I do the advocacy for STEM, and I always mention in most of my talk that we work like a family, there is equal importance of parents. Like there should not be any gender bias. So now, even if we go back in past eras, like there are lots of developments and innovation in medical devices, but there were very few women in boards and few women were the decision maker, where we have ignored many problems maybe which are female health related or something are very critical to the female health. So but nowadays we are encouraging more female entrepreneurs or women entrepreneurs who are working with STEMs and this kind of innovations. So they are coming with their real life challenges and problems and the solutions, how they can come. And even we are creating more boards, even they are already women specific boards who are supporting their journeys and encouraging more to come up with the products. And that gives me, definitely it's not for female but it's for everyone. When a female is happy at family, so everyone is happy, so it's all together. So that's how I want to see that this impact should be real impact, and we can encourage more our next generation as well, creating more.
Very well said. So Sangeeta, a couple of more questions. You're the president of GWASE. What is GWASE and what is the work that it is doing?
Yes, right. So GWAC, when I was in India, I have established, it was an organization we have established together. So there was expertise from different experts, like some are from 3D printing designing, someone maybe from diagnostics, someone, because when we were at the hub of medical technology, Andhra Pradesh MedTech Zone, and we believe in collaboration and helping each other so that we can come up with more medical devices. And India is now in ranking in world's number 2 or number 3 after China exporting medical devices. So we were the only female group. We have created that group where with the different expertise we can help other women entrepreneurs to come forward and take those challenges and even talk to the other VCs and creating the partnerships to help their journey. And they can share even if they got some problems or issues during the journey. So that gives a relaxed mind working, because sometimes the work environment also not very relaxed, it's quite stressful. So sometimes I feel when it's a women related group, it gives a mental relaxation to give you more energy boost up to work together, and okay, we can come forward and do something together to achieve.
Very interesting. You're also a mentor of change at the NITI Aayog. Tell me a little bit about the work you do here.
All right. So this is mostly about the next generation, who are the students and academics. So this is I'm also in other mentor boards as well, other universities in India. So this is to just to encourage them, because they are the young mind, very fresh minds. So they are very good. And Indian government, I would say, with different activities now, it's completely, it's a game changing, I would say, how India has taken their steps forward for this entrepreneurship journey. So they are encouraging in the school level children to come up with the new innovative ideas and take those challenges and problem ahead, and giving them more encouragement and creating more interest. So I do take part sometimes to check their technologies, do some assessments, and to help them and support them. That role is very, very small, I would say. But sometimes the real encouragement to keep up our next generation with the highly ambitious with the STEM. So they are our future roles. So they will make better.
Fascinating. And my last question to you, Sangeeta, and this is for the many people who will listen to our conversation. Based on your deep understanding of technology, med tech, and you're an entrepreneur, what would you say are 3 lessons you would want a lot of our viewers and listeners to take away from your own journey and from our conversation?
Yes. So being an entrepreneur, one thing I would say first thing is the passion. Like sometimes we have many responsibilities, but if I am passionate about my work, definitely I'll try to be more focused.
Yeah.
And try to achieve something, and being very resilient. And sometimes we get lots of hurdles, failures, success. So we shouldn't like give up. We should stay focused. Like, okay, if we have thought something in our mind, like being a mother, I always give an example of a child. Like when it's our own baby, we know we have to give them a good ambience, good nurturing. So we cannot give up. So we have to take it through the journey. So that's our stay focused, being passionate, and take the challenges as it comes, being resilient towards your work.
Very interesting. And on that note, Sangeeta, and your wonderful lessons, passion for your work is very important. Be resilient, don't give up. And third one you said was stay focused. Thank you for talking to me about your own journey. Thank you for talking to me about so many different aspects of medtech and all the great work you are doing. Thank you also for speaking to me about your entrepreneurial platform, Novo Connect for Women. Thank you for speaking to me, and good luck to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Brand Called You videocast and podcast, a platform that brings you knowledge, experience, and wisdom of hundreds of successful individuals from around the world. Do visit our website www.tbcy.in to watch and listen to the stories of many more individuals. You can also follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Just search for the Brand Called You.